I avoided coming to Bali for a long time because of everything I had seen online. Too chaotic, too fake, too crowded. And for a long time, I thought there's no way this place is going to live up to the hype. For the past 3 years, I've moved to a new city every month, and Bali is 1 out of 3 that I've extended to 2 months. And not only that, but now I'm actually back for a second time. So I finally understand why people have come here for a month and have accidentally stayed for years. And I'll be totally honest, if you come to Bali with the wrong setup, you're going to hate it. But if you do it right, it becomes literally a life design cheat code. My entire life becomes easier to run the minute I arrive in Bali. In most cities I've spent a month in, it feels like I have to go the extra mile to find a healthy environment, find a good gym, find the ideal workspace setup. Here, it just happens on autopilot. My first day when I arrive in a new city is touring gyms. That's like my go-to activity. Here, I toured Nirvana, Bali Social Club, and Body Factory. And let me tell you, picking one was so hard. These are top of the line wellness clubs, like better than anything you'll find around the world. And this is coming from a person that tours gyms in every city that I go to. And for the value that you're getting at really good prices. Last year, I picked Nirvana. To me, it just beat out the competition. But this year, I actually did it a bit different because I had another idea in mind. I've been more into paddle lately, and I wanted to have everything under one roof, like gym, recovery, paddle courts. So I picked Island Sports Club, which just opened, and I discovered a hack to avoid the crazy traffic that everybody talks about, which, yes, it is totally true. Like, there is traffic on every single corner, but you can do this in order to have a better experience. So before arriving this time, what I actually did was write out exactly what I wanted my perfect day to be like. And knowing that, I knew I had to find a place near where I was going to be spending the rest of my days besides the house. And that's exactly what I did. This Airbnb is 2 minutes away from the gym. I can see the gym from this window, and it's really improved my day-to-day experience this time around compared to last time. I personally ended up in Canggu, and even though I don't like busy places, like that's not the type of place I usually gravitate towards, I have loved it. So I would recommend giving it a chance if it's your first time in Bali. And if you want something more peaceful while still having a variety of places to choose from, like gyms, cafes, and spots like that, I would look into Ubud. And if you want really peaceful and don't care much about having the latest infrastructure for places to work from and gyms, and you want more like a chill surfer vibe, I would look into Uluwatu. My first time, I booked a co-living because I've noticed when arriving to a new place that I'm really not sure how I'm gonna like it or not. Having an automatic community of people that I meet really makes a difference. I've proven it in all the cities I go to. Now that I'm back a second time and I know how everything works and I know like the ins and outs, I booked directly through Airbnb because I also learned from my experience that it's super easy to meet people outside in Bali. And this Airbnb came out to $1,500 a month. Now, the reason why I've become more productive, and I think everyone else does too, is because you're no longer spending time on these minor tasks that can easily be automated for you. Starting off with where to eat. In other countries, I spend hours and hours researching what places are worth it, what's going to be healthy enough to eat continuously for a month, are there meal plans, and if I'm cooking, then doing that and then understanding the groceries for the first time in a different country, like getting all that down and then doing that process weekly. Where here, if you want it to be completely automated, it's easy because there's not like 1 or 2 companies to choose from. There's thousands, and literally in a 5-minute radius from where you're staying, there will be a handful of coffee shops to choose from, of good places to have lunch at, whether you're eating local food or want something Western. I shared a cost breakdown on how much I spent the entire month in this video over here so you can have as reference. And because everyone around you is usually on the same mindset, focused working, building, or having their own set routine, it just motivates you. And no other city I've been in has had this. In 1 month in Bali, I've met more people than in the other 11 cities combined. Last year, obviously, it was super easy to meet people in the co-living. This year, I've met a ton of people playing paddle at group workout classes, and then literally just sitting in restaurants. Like, people here are in a disposition to talk and to make community. We're back home in Miami. No one was talking to anyone in a workout class. The biggest mistake people will make when coming long-term to Bali is treating it like a vacation. And I actually don't even recommend it for vacation, because the second you come here partying, eating random food, ignoring your routine, your body will crash. You get sick, you lose discipline, spiral, and then people go home saying, no, Bali is super overrated. No, you just didn't set up your life correctly. Because when you know what to do, you have the food down, you have the crazy wellness experiences to your liking, whatever that may be. Tons of options where to stay at for every price point, and the community. And while it has all of that, I do have to admit that it's still not the perfect place. That is probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned from these past 3 years of traveling full time. Every place has pros and cons. Some will have more pros, other will have more cons. And for Bali, for example, the biggest cons for me that I feel are super important to know before coming are the low walkability. I do try to outweigh it by doing like the double movement during the day, in the morning, sitting down to work, and then doing another movement in the afternoon. Because if not, I would literally spend 8 hours sitting at a desk. But there's no sidewalks. And because of the traffic, walking anywhere is just like a big no-no. And second, the water situation. Bali belly, food poisoning, having a stomach ache, all of that is basically caused by the fact that the tap water here is not clean at all, like not even to brush your teeth. And it does add a huge weight when you're thinking of just like wanting to sit down wherever without it having to like cross your mind. Both times I've been here, I have gotten sick. Is it the end of the world? No, definitely not, but it is something annoying to deal with. And if you come already in a negative mindset and also complaining because maybe things don't run as smoothly as they did back in your home, you're going to end up just having a bad time. So in my eyes, it's a place filled with life. A place that snaps you out of the hamster wheel of just work, sleep, repeat. And a place that makes it so easy to create the life that you want to design. And that's why everyone that comes ends up wanting to stay.